Bang, bang, everyone. What's going on? Time for lunch money. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful Polina Marinova. She traded in the guns for a first-year analyst outfit. Looks like she's got the Midtown uniform on, ready to go to her investment banking job. You got a joke? Are you going to start Friday off with a joke?
Yeah.
All right, what's the joke?
I'm fully vested.
Okay, didn't know it was gonna be a bad joke.
You didn't see that coming.
Let's get into Amazon. What's going on with the Amazon?
Speaking of Amazon, by the way, before we start, don't I kind of look like Jeff Bezos in that, that picture where he looks like the Terminator and he's wearing this vest? I kind of look like that too.
You should shave your head and maybe you'll be good to go. All right, what is Bezos land doing?
So basically, Amazon had its earnings call yesterday, and Bezos said, if you're a shareholder or share owner in Amazon, you may want to take a seat.
Take a seat.
Wow, I really messed that quote up.
You did. It's okay. So everyone was paying attention to Amazon earnings report yesterday. Obviously, there's lots of businesses that are suffering, but Amazon, of all businesses, they make up like almost 50% of e-commerce sales. They've been doing very, very well. Lots of sales online because people have to order things. And so really their challenges have been on the logistics side. How do they make sure that their employees are safe? How do they get packages where they need to be, right? And when all of the world is basically ordering on Amazon. The bad news was they basically said, if we continued as we are continuing, we would make $4 billion in profit in Q2.
Wow.
So April, May, and June of this year, they'd make $4 billion. But we are not going to make that profit because we're going to spend all $4 billion on COVID-19 related activities. So they're going to spend this entire year about $1 billion just on testing for their employees to make sure everyone's safe. They've got to do a lot of things on the logistical front. And so, my whole takeaway is just Amazon's a cockroach company. Like they went years and years and years.
What's a cockroach company?
So the whole idea of being a cockroach is like you do whatever it takes to survive. And for years,
but like nobody likes you.
Well, people still might like you or they might not like you. But right now, like a lot of early stage startups, they've got to be careful. You just can't run out of money. Rule number one of business, don't run out of money. And so you got to be this cockroach. You got to do whatever it takes to not run out of money. Amazon's not in, anywhere near running out of money. But what they are doing, or what they have done for years and years, is they operate at super thin margins. So they would post no profit for years and years and years. And shareholders would be like, is this company ever going to make a profit? But what he was doing was he was driving a bunch of money, taking it and reinvesting it in the business. Right. That's essentially what he's doing here. So look, people are going to be upset because they're not going to make $4 billion in profits this year or in this quarter. But I don't think it's a big deal.
This show is about the little guy, right?
The little guy?
Yeah.
Are you anti-Amazon?
So let me just tell you something. I'm not anti-Amazon.
Oh, we know because I see the orders. You order from Amazon like daily.
I'm pro-vest, but I am con.
Go ahead.
Basically, I have a good source that is a small business owner that works with Amazon. Do not say who it is. That has told me that right now, I don't know why, but like as a small business owner, basically what you do is you send your product to Amazon, to its fulfillment centers. And then from there, Amazon's like logistical process kicks in and they can ship your order.
You pre-send it before you sold it.
Right. So they always have like a small inventory of your stuff. I knew that.
You're like a private equity analyst in the making. Go ahead.
So basically they have this small inventory, and then when somebody orders it, they can ship it immediately from Tennessee or wherever it is.
Do they use American Airlines, AA for life? Go ahead.
So that was a dramatic pause. So what happened was, apparently, because I don't know if people aren't working, I don't know if there's like what's going on, if their process is a little messed up right now, but people are ordering things and then Amazon is not shipping them.
Yeah, it's the logistical challenge.
Right now, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay. They're trying to hire 100,000 plus employees, right? And there's a bunch of issues with how do they actually process such high volumes of orders? Like even them, who's supposed to be the best in the world at this, there's still so many orders coming in. And then you also have to keep all the employees safe as well while you're doing this.
But here's the problem. If I'm a customer and I order something and it does not come on time, I think most people are forgiving, but there are, of course, those customers who are unhappy 99% of the time. So they go and they leave a review on that small business page and say, this didn't come when it should have, whatever. It is not the small business's fault. It is Amazon's fault. But then you get bad reviews because of Amazon, and then you just go down in the algorithm.
So obviously Amazon's not perfect, right? But there would be an argument that says if you don't like Amazon's process, go sell somewhere else, which would take away most of the revenue for a small business like that. So I agree with you that Amazon needs to fix that. And I think that's what they're basically saying here is they're going to make the investments to ensure that they fix that.
Yeah, fully vested. Make the investment.
Oh my God. All right. What's going on with cars? So long story short, today. Amazon is down in trading. They're not going to make a profit in Q2 of this year. They're really kind of taking coronavirus seriously. But as we've come to find out, Jeff Bezos runs the world because there seems to be boxes showing up at our apartment every single day to the point where the gentleman downstairs, when we walk into our building, literally starts laughing. No, and I asked Polina, I say, Polina, what did you order? And she will say something like, I don't know. I forgot.
But that's not from Amazon. I order from other places. I support small business owners. Corona Life.
What's going on with Corona Life?
I did not want to put this in here. He made me because I told you to be wary of headlines that say, according to a scientist. So
are we anti-scientists now?
No, but like there's so many random predictions and it's just like if you're going to start paying attention to all of them. But anyway, some scientists from the University of Minnesota have predicted that the coronavirus pandemic is likely to last between 18 and 24 months. What does that mean? In what form?
So the reason I wanted to put this in, I just wanted to make fun of the fact that this is ridiculous.
Well,
there are scientists who are literally saying the pandemic's going to last for 2 years. Like these people are smoking crack. Look, that's literally what's going on here.
Well,
this is pure fear porn. That's what that is. You ever heard that term? Fear porn. It basically means all they want is they want people to be fearful. They want to drive the narrative of like the world's ending, the pandemic's going to go on forever. The problem with this is these people will never be held responsible. What they should do, here's what we should say to every scientist. If you're going to make predictions like this and you're going to drive that, if you're wrong within some order of magnitude, if you're wrong, you should lose your job.
That's a little extreme.
Why? What's the skin in the game that they have?
You make predictions all the time.
And I either make money or I lose money based on the predictions. I have skin in the game. So if I say X is going to do Y and I'm wrong, I literally lose money.
Well,
a scientist who sits there and says, I wrote up this white paper and this white paper says that the pandemic is going to last for 24 more months. Oh, okay, maybe. But what skin in the game do they have if they're wrong?
I say they have to put money on it. So that way I know how confident you are. And then, because if you put like 50K, I'll be like, damn, they're very confident. But if you put like $50, I'll be like, we give out more on lunch money.
So, so basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out what's their confidence level.
Yeah.
And I'm exaggerating a little bit. I don't actually think that they should lose their jobs if they're wrong, because science is hard, predictions are hard. But I do think that the underlying sentiment of just throwing out these wild predictions to cause fear and chaos is not helpful. If you go back, do you remember the Imperial College study that literally said like 6 million or 5 million people in the United States were going to die?
That was a scary study. I don't remember what it said.
It scared the shit out of everybody, including the U.S. government, into this lockdown. And then within like 3 weeks, they came out like, we were off. Take a couple of zeros off that number, right? And by the way, it doesn't mean that the virus isn't bad. It's just when you have such variety in your predictions and there's so much volatility and there's millions. Oh, now there's only gonna be a couple 100,000 people that die. Like a couple 100,000 is still bad. And it's just you get desensitized to a couple 100,000 because you just heard 5 million.
So one of my friends the other day texted me some insane stuff, like some article about coronavirus. And under normal circumstances, that piece of news would have been surprising. And I was like, literally nothing surprises me anymore. I'm like desensitized to everything. And I think that that's exactly what this does. If you're somebody who spends the whole day on the internet reading the news and you're like, oh my God, 24 months, like that can do some serious damage to your psyche.
I mean, listen, Drake dropped an album last night at midnight and Drake don't miss. So 2020 has some things that still go. All right, what's going on with ad revenue? She wouldn't let me put that in the topic. So I went ahead and just slid right in there. Drake's album, go download it, 12 midnight last night.
Did you listen to it? We were asleep.
I listened to a little leaked version of it last night. It's good. I was bobbing and weaving in my sleep. Go ahead. Ad revenue. What's going on?
I had to put the guns away today because he got scared.
Go ahead. Ad revenue.
So big tech and ad firms were relatively unscathed by declining ad revenue in Q1, but Q2 is looking ominous. You see how I changed that out there?
It says Outlook
Ominous.
is darker. I don't even know what the word ominous means. Sounds like an SAT word. So it's not in my vocabulary. But the whole idea here is obviously people are spending a bunch of time online. There are a lot of platforms that are basically reporting lower CPMs, right? So the cost for each advertisement is going down, but because volumes are going up, more people are visiting websites and things like that. The net basis is pretty flat, and that's basically what we saw. So they didn't make a ton of more money, but they also didn't lose as much money. But on a CPM basis, which is cost per 1,000 views for an ad, that's gone down. But it's made up by just more people being on the internet, which it shouldn't surprise anybody.
So are advertisers eventually going to pull back their?
Well, a lot of advertisers have pulled back, right? So here's an interesting little dichotomy, which is a word that I had to look up today.
Morning.
Well, I knew the word, I just didn't know how to spell it, so I had to look it up.
How do you spell it?
The Dichotomy.
No. Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It might be a SAT word. I actually might have a bigger vocabulary than you realize. So the dichotomy is that a lot of smaller advertisers are actually pulling back because they're nervous, cockroach mode, right? How do I not spend money so I don't increase my burn rate? But large advertisers who have bigger budgets and who have a lot of capital, they realize, wait a second, I can crush my competition right now because CPMs just went down. So they'll actually spend more and try to grab market share. So it's this really weird kind of cat and mouse game, or as some might say, you know, at the country club, a dichotomy. All right, what's going on with rent?
Wait, can I ask what the opposite of cockroach mode is? Is it like fluffy puppy or something?
No, it's WeWork. literally just spend as much as you want on anything you want, and you know there's no downside.
There's cockroach mode and then there's WeWork mode.
Yes. And by the way, if you notice, cockroach mode ends with you still having a business. WeWork mode's going to end with that company going under. But keep going to rent. Rent is due.
Rent is due. Okay.
You don't have an article for this, I don't think.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
So, okay. So rent is due because it's like the first of the month. Oh my God. Can you believe it's May?
It's May 1.
It's going to be May. Okay.
I don't think that's a song.
No, it's okay. I'll show you later the memes. So basically it's been 2 months since coronavirus kind of hit New York. And now Friday is May Day. And without work, around 40% of New Yorkers can't pay a single month's rent. So now there's a strike in the state.
1/3 of people didn't pay rent in April. It was the reported number.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, 1/3 of renters either didn't pay or tried to get a reduction, I think was the actual stat. So this month, I mean, landlords are going to get demolished this month because people have literally been out of work for a month. They haven't received a paycheck in a month, and maybe they're getting some unemployment or something like that. Remember, 30 million Americans in the last 6 weeks have applied for first-time uninsurance benefits. And so they just don't have money for rent. It's going to be really, really bad. So now, so we'll see what happens.
Why is de Blasio? Anyway, so people are calling for a rent freeze, and now the mayor of New York is calling for a rent freeze for the first time.
I don't think they should do that.
Why not?
Because you're going to put too much pressure on the landlords. Why should the landlords suffer?
Well, then the landlords are going to start freaking out, and then it's just going to go up the chain.
But again, this is a very bad situation. We shouldn't make light of it, but somebody entered into a contractual agreement, right?
Okay, but how are you supposed to pay if you have no income coming in?
Again, there's things that you can go do. So people are filing for unemployment insurance, etc. But you can't start to, like, the fabric of society breaks down when you start to break down the trust that people have in contractual agreements. So you and I enter into a contract, and if I know that all of a sudden, if I can't hold up my end of the contract, I can just run to the government, and the government will say, "Oh, you're fine." It reduces all of the risk for me, and it actually teaches me to go do it over and over and over and over again.
I understand, but this is not a normal circumstance, and I don't think this would fly under normal circumstances. But because we're in this crazy period of time, people are doing it because they can't pay.
You can literally walk into a bookstore, put a blindfold on, and ask, where's the personal finance section? And they'll have 3 things in there. Have multiple streams of income, spend less than you make, and make sure you always have like 6 months of cash. Every single book in the world has told people that for like all of eternity. People don't listen. But if they don't listen, is that the landlord's fault? Is that the bank's fault? Or is that the person's fault? And by the way, I actually think what we're figuring out here is people are going to get reminded, you have to be disciplined. Remember what I said? I don't know a single person right now struggling that has multiple streams of income or spends less than they make. And so the people who made the disciplined, hard decisions during the good times are well positioned right now. The people who didn't do that stuff, they're the ones who are struggling. We should help them, but you can't go so far as to break down the fabric of society by breaking contractual agreements.
We'll see.
It's complex. What's going on with NASCAR? Not to be confused with. Go ahead.
NASCAR announces revised May schedule as racing returns on Sunday, May 17th, because this is a socially distant sport.
Rubbing is racing. If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby, you know who that is?
Literally, I am shaking.
Do you know who Ricky Bobby is?
Yeah, I think he has long hair.
No. We actually know a NASCAR driver, Landon Castle, shout out. Polina's been to dinner with him.
You were going to say my dad.
No. So Landon told me actually, though, that what they've been doing is they've been doing virtual races.
Oh, cool.
Like kind of like esports style. So, basically like I could just, get a little system and then I could go enter into the race and, Denny Hamlin, Landon Castle, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., whoever wants it. I got you.
Landon's awesome. But hold on.
Yes.
Can I tell my story one time?
Yes. But we only have 4 minutes and we got to get through 2 more topics. So make it snappy. Was that a dance move?
No, that was a snack move.
Oh.
When I was like 15 or 14, my dad went to the NASCAR loop.
Practice track.
No, it was the real track.
Okay, the track.
The track.
It's not a loop.
Okay. And he got to drive a car, like a NASCAR.
How fast did he go?
Very fast.
Okay. You were very vested in that story.
I was very vested. But yeah, it was really cool. Like I got to sit there and just like.
Did you go?
People. I went.
In the car?
No.
Did you drive?
I was just the audience. No. But it was so funny. Like you see these like short little like fat men and they just like kind of jump in there through the window like real quick.
You ever seen Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, with Jessica Simpson?
No, I think that's like the millennial version where they tried to make it cool again. Dukes of Hazzard's an old show and they just run up, the Duke boys, they run up and they get right into the car.
Is there a Dixie Duke?
Yeah. She wears short shorts.
Yeah, I think that's Jessica Simpson.
But that's in the new version. That version sucks. We'll watch the old version and then you can let us know what you think.
Okay. Are we on to Ejection?
Speaking of cars, machines, what happened with the Ejection?
I love this story. Okay. So this 64-year-old man, his company had an outing to an air base and they were like, you're going to fly in a fighter jet today. He's like, oh my God, I'm so not into this. But he did it anyway. And his heart was like palpitating so fast.
SAT word.
I don't, is that the right
yes.
word? I don't. Okay. So then he got so nervous. He grabbed something. This sounds like something I would do. Honestly, it's really scary. He grabbed something and accidentally pressed the ejector button in a panic and he tumbled through the skies.
Wait, a 64-year-old man ejected himself from a fighter jet while he was doing it as recreational. Yeah. As he's doing recreational activity. Please tell me he had a parachute on.
He did. And then he landed near the French border. How amazing. Look at his recorded heart rate range from 136 to 142 beats per minute. Mine is like literally 200 when I'm working out.
Oh yeah, my 142. If I walk up 2 flights of stairs, I'm like about to die.
But look at that. When the jet was 2,500 feet above ground, the pilot began to climb and the passenger just pressed it.
The pilot went vertical. You ever seen Top Gun? You know that movie with Tom Cruise? In one of the scenes, he says, he's going vertical and so am I. And he just goes vertical. That's what this guy did.
That's really scary.
Is it?
Well,
remember how we talked about the G forces when you got to go to space?
Yeah.
And you just sit there and it's just hitting you?
And apparently like he didn't even like put his helmet on right. So it like freaked out and hit stuff. Honestly, if it was me, I would probably have a heart attack in the moment between pressing the button, being ejected. The second I realized I'm being ejected, I'm dead. Like I'm out.
I feel like if you're over the age of 60, like you can start doing crazy shit.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, on average, I think the average life expectancy in the United States is 77 years old. So you only got 17 years left. Like, might as well just go see what happens.
One time I was saying something like something when we were like 60, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it to that."
I told myself my entire life I'm not gonna make it to 30, so I just did crazy shit, and I made it to 30, and I was like, "Wow, whole new life. What's up?" Hey.
Lucky me.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else for the people?
The people were awesome.
All right, we're giving away $100 again. It's Friday. That means it's lunch money time. So take the video, take the URL. Well, actually, hold on. Before you take the URL, hit the like button, smash the like button, as some people say.
Like it gently.
Make sure that you are subscribed so that you can get all these videos. Take the URL, go tweet it, use the hashtag. If you don't use the hashtag, it doesn't count. Use hashtag lunch money so we can find it on Twitter. Because we had trouble with that in the past. Use hashtag lunch money and tell us your favorite joke from this week. take the URL, tweet it.
It's totally going to be my joke.
Hashtag lunch money. Tweet whatever your favorite joke was this week. We'll pick one person. You get $100. Lunch money. You can go to dinner. You can go spend it on Amazon. You can go buy Bitcoin. You can do whatever the hell you want with it.
You could support a local small business.
Facts. But that's it for this week. We've had a blast. We have a surprise as well. Sunday, 12 noon Eastern. We're going to be doing a live Q&A. Make sure you tune in on YouTube for the Q&A.
How do they ask questions?
There's a comment section and they leave the comments.
Oh, on YouTube?
Yep. And then you're going to read it. Yeah. That's how YouTube works, Polina.
Wait, but like once we're live, not before we're live.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't want to high five that.
You don't want to high five that? Instead, you just give me the Mike Tyson shoe away. All right, guys. That's it for Lunch Money this week. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get a lunch money right. We appreciate you watching. I hope that you enjoyed the analysis by my Wall Street banker friend here in her vest. And we will see you guys on Sunday.
Bye.